There's literally nothing in my background now, and I thought there would be. There's not. This is my, I don't know why I tilted down, but there's something above my head, so, yeah, I guess we're just going with this boring, plain old background here. So, hello! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Odds, and we are going to be talking about She-Hulk Episode 2. I took a little bit of a week off, so I didn't do my first video. I will be honest, I didn't feel like filming, so we're back at it again. This one's up a little late too. Sorry. It is very hard for me to wake up early. I figured out on Thursdays it's hard for me to wake up. Don't know why Thursday, but it's hard. It's after 6 and I'm drinking a cup of coffee. Do not judge me. Got lock, stock, and barrel because we're getting ready for fall. If you're new here today, I would love for you to... What are we doing with She-Hulk? We're breaking it down, and yeah, we're just giving a breakdown of the episode, and I'll give you my thoughts on the episode intermittently. And if you are new here today, I would love for you to subscribe. I do, hopefully, 2 videos a week. Marvel, DC, we don't have a lot of DC to talk about. Marvel, DC, other comic book content. I didn't do anything on Sandman, but let me know if you want something like late on Sandman. Beauty vlogs, there is something on this channel for everyone. I am moving at the end of September, so there will be moving vlogs in there. I'm going to 2 cons within the next 2 months, so there will be a lot of con blogging content, so very excited for that. If you're going to any of them, I'm going to Dragon Con and New York City Comic Con. Come say hi. Yes, this is a long intro. 2.5 minutes, actually, so we'll see if we can edit that down. And we're gonna go ahead and get started with the breakdown. The episode starts out and Jen gets fired from the DA's office, but it all works out in her favor because she gets an offer to go work for the Superhuman Law Division at a big prestigious law firm. But the condition of her working in the Superhuman Division is that she has to be She-Hulk. The whole time when she's at work, when she's on case, all the time she has to be She-Hulk, which is a very big sort of place of contention for her because she wanted to just go back to being Jen and to avoid being the She-Hulk. Although she still refers to herself as Jen when she's in her She-Hulk form, and she thinks the name She-Hulk is stupid. I'm used to it because She-Hulk has been a character since the 80s, but yeah, it can be a little dumb if you think about it. Any sort of like woman version of a character sounds a little stupid, but I think She-Hulk works, so there's that. Her very first case is Emil Blonsky, who is Abomination. Same exact actor from The Incredible Hulk. Of course, we have a very different actor from The Incredible Hulk for Bruce Banner. He was played by Edward Norton. If you haven't seen that Hulk movie, I think it's worth a watch. I've gone back and forth whether I think it's great and whether I think it's terrible. Now I think it's somewhere in the middle. It's an okay movie. I think for a Hulk movie, it works. It gives a good kind of origin story for the Hulk. So if you don't really know much about the Hulk, which I feel like most people know, that he was in a lab exposed to gamma radiation and became the Hulk. Like, that's kind of all you really need to know, but it introduces my fave, Betty Ross. Love her. Thaddeus Ross's daughter, who is not in the MCU moving forward, but was stated that she did get snapped, so they still think of her enough to mention that she was dusted, but that could have been just a one-off comment. I hope we see her again. We did see her in What If, so I hope we do see her again. We find out that Emil has learned to control Abomination. He sees it as another side of him, but he is keeping him under control. So, whereas Bruce merged himself with the Hulk, Emil is separating himself from Abomination. Jen finds out that Abomination was created by the US government because, again, if you saw that Incredible Hulk movie, they inject him with a rogue version of the super soldier serum, and it turns him into Abomination. It also creates the leader, who has not been in any of these movies either. He could always come back as well. But yeah, so it was basically the US government's fault, and she's like, I can use that, so she stores that away for later, which I think also is going to call into effect the fact that Abomination is definitely going to be a member of the Thunderbolts. So the Thunderbolts are getting their own movie, so expect Emil Blonsky to show up as Abomination in that. Excited to see that. Love to see a Hulk villain. We don't get a lot of Hulk villains. We don't get a lot of Hulk stuff because Hulk is owned by Universal. So it's really nice to get She-Hulk because it's kind of their way around the laws with Universal. Mentioned earlier, but Bruce says that Emil has reached out to him and he's made peace with Emil and everything's great. And Bruce says, I was literally a different person, which is true. He was literally Edward Norton. If you don't know, Mark Ruffalo was supposed to play the Hulk in the Incredible Hulk film, and then they opted for Edward Norton because he was a bigger name. But then Edward Norton dropped out because of creative control and money, I believe. And then they hired Mark Ruffalo again. So kind of a runaround to just get to the same result. But we find out Bruce is in space with that one spaceship that we saw in episode 1. He's in that spaceship, so we're just going to see what's up with him. I don't know what kind of Hulk storylines they have planned for the future that would make sense in the slate they have announced. I would love, we kind of did Planet Hulk already in Thor Ragnarok. I would love to see a World War Hulk. Would be a really cool storyline to go down. Again, Betty is in it. So if Betty can be Red She-Hulk, that would be awesome. Or if she could just be herself, I would love her. I love Betty Ross. I'm probably going to bring her up in every single episode. So just get ready for that. So then she's like, great, I'm taking the case. Everything's going to be great. Emil looks like we got a good case against the government for him, and everything's going to turn out fine. And then Horowitz, I believe is the lawyer's name, she calls him, tells him the news, and he's like, yo, turn on the news. Sounds great, but turn on the news. And we find out about, or the world at the time finds out about the Shang-Chi fighting ring that he was a part of. So we know he was breaking out at some point by Wong, and we're going to kind of figure out why in the next future episodes. And then the post-credit scene is just her helping her dad out with chores, because earlier in the episode there was a family dinner with her immediate family and looks like some family friends. So yeah, pretty cool. The family friend mentions that she does costuming, so she could possibly, that's where she might get her She-Hulk costume, which I've seen. Don't love it. I like, honestly, when she wears her normal clothes, but also when she has something like a little bit less. I feel like they replaced colors on the suit and it just looks weird. Like, Marvel is obsessed with doing a lot of line work. I don't really get it. This is something like the CGI artists want to do, because half the time they don't wear the actual outfits, they just CGI them on, which I have thoughts about because I'm big into costuming. So don't love that. We'll see how it looks in live action. Titania was not in this episode. She did. There was a Twitter account created for her. I'm sure there's probably an Instagram account as well, but a Twitter account that is now verified was created for Titania, and she is described as a superhuman influencer, so we do hear some of that in this episode. So she's mentioned, but we don't see her. So more to come on Titania. Very interesting to see where that storyline goes, but I think she's gonna be like the main villain that She-Hulk ends up fighting, even though I don't think she'll really be a villain. She's also rumored to show up in the Thunderbolts as well. But I think the case with Abomination is going to be the main thing. Again, we didn't get any Daredevil or rumored Jessica Jones. So I don't know where she's going to come across Daredevil, maybe trying to fight Titania, or just coming across him as Matt Murdock at first, because obviously he is a defense attorney. So yeah, we have a lot of stuff to cover over the next 4 episodes. I can't believe these episodes are so short, and we only have 6 episodes. So we're flying through. We only have 4 left, so we have a lot to cover. Daredevil, Titania, Abomination Trial, whatever Bruce is doing in space in the spaceship. Lots of stuff. So stay tuned for that. I will be doing weekly breakdowns for the series. I will not be doing weekly breakdowns for Andor since it comes out and overlaps a little bit. I know it's on a different day, but that would be really exhausting. So I will not be doing that, but there will be lots of stuff to come, including vlogs, like I said, of cons, movie breakdowns, maybe another thing about books, some travel stuff, and some Halloween stuff coming up. So I'm really excited for my video schedule for the end of the year, so be sure to subscribe for that, and I will see you on Monday with a new video. Bye!